that makes it really interesting. It's really exciting. It's really different to what I ever thought I'd be doing, but that makes it more interesting.
Welcome, everyone. Today we have here Lisa. She's one of our writers and she's been with us for a while. Lisa, how are you?
I am good, Chris. How are you?
I'm good as well. Thank you. And now we were just chatting a little bit, talking about how we're both half British, talking
Yeah.
about how,
You've got the better accent, though, I must say. You
I
could spot
mean,
yours from a mile away. Me, I've got you. You can see the mixture.
to be fair, you can spot yours as well, but more on the South African side. What can you tell me about yourself? Like, what was your education and what do you do?
When I got out of school, I was only 17. I don't know, that they start a lot later now. I don't know, our kids. So I was 17. I had no idea what I wanted to do. First, I thought I wanted to be a teacher, but then I changed my mind. Then I applied for nursing, which I got rejected from, even though it was less points that you were required. But then my next choice was psychology because I was so messed up. I thought I could understand myself if I studied psychology. And I got in, but I did English as my second major. And then at the end of second year, I chose to drop English for double psychology because it gave you a higher chance of getting into honors. So I dropped it to general psychology, which is all the crazy like schizophrenia, learning about the mental disorders and stuff, like really learning about the brain. And then community psychology, which is more, yeah, we did like a 6 week like thing where we went to a rural school and taught them all about the hanky panky and like how society like teaches them the wrong thing and how not to act. And I don't know if we had much influence on them, but anyway, so I dropped English and then I graduated. I started my honors and then I fell pregnant. So I decided, okay, I'm going to be a mom now. And then I started doing freelance. Yeah, kind of like freelance. No. Then I was head of creditors at a company, a very big security company here in South Africa. And then I somehow ended up in digital media. So very big company that like represents all like the main car dealerships and stuff. And that's how I was thrown into this kind of realm of like digital media and then freelance writing and so on and so on. And then I found Mindrift a year ago, like I said earlier, a year ago, in September last year.
So you're actually one of the first people that joined Mindrift. I seen it from my side. What changed in this year, apart from everything? Let me rephrase it. What didn't change?
What didn't change? I think the nice thing is that everybody, regardless of their level, is treated with the same level of respect. I like that. And I've formed some very, very close bonds on here with people that I probably will never meet, that live in other countries or other like places in South Africa. And yeah, I've been through two team leads. I'm on my second team lead. Hello, Nicole. I said I'd say hi, Nicole. She's amazing. And yeah, I don't like change. So Donna was originally my team lead. And we were communicating via WhatsApp back then. And that changed. So then we were all thrown onto Discord and everything changed. Our team leads changed. I was like,
For the
don't
better
like
or for
that.
the worse?
Not for the better because well, the main reason was WhatsApp. Whenever we got a new member, they couldn't see the previous chat. So it's so much easier in Discord to create threads and to look back and to just search for stuff, you know. It's a way bigger community now though. Like, whew, yeah, if you just go into the random channel, you get a good laugh out of there because it's just new people all the time, like new little school kids. Like, who's my team lead?
So Lisa here was talking about team leads. We just recently changed the structure. to shift the role of team lead to more of a QA role. But the reality is, it's all the same people. And um, when you say that you had a great experience with your team lead, I believe you. First of all, because I met a bunch of them, but also because it's what I keep hearing. So, I mean, first of all, hi Nicole as well. I don't want to be left alone. Come on. And
No, she's
second,
such a honey. I love her.
and second, going back to Discord, you say that it's, there's so many more people right now.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
How does it feel to be one of the early joiners and see all this influx of people coming in?
Sometimes I feel kind of bad when like I said, that random channel, I go in there and people are like, they're brand new. And it's like, if you can get through the first month, you'll be okay. You can do this, They seem so some of them might be older than me, but I just see them as these cute little grade 1 kids who have no clue where to start. But it's nice as well because if there are questions that they have that I could possibly answer and tell them, this is how this works, and then I'll send them like a link to a page with guidelines and stuff. They're very, very kind and very appreciative. And if they freak out about something, it's like, guys, just relax. These things happen. Calm down, breathe. It's okay. I've been here for a year. I'm still here. So it's nice. It's nice to just know, like, I'm very comfortable. And I am a comfort zone person. So
that's why we make dumb jokes anyway.
we make a lot of dumb jokes.
Oh yeah. For those of you that don't know, Lisa and I, we have a long Discord chat with more or less just the office gifts.
And Nicole will say the same thing. That's literally the majority of our communication will just be office gifts. Office gifts.
That actually, that showcases one of the aspects, which is the human aspect. So you're pretty much acting as a big sister to these young kids who might be, I don't know, 50 years old, but they're still the kids coming in with first day of school kind of backpack. And okay, just need my onboarding. What happens now?
Yeah, exactly.
But it's good to hear that, people, I say people, but, you and I expect other people do so as well, actually help the newcomers. They say that, everything will be all right. It might be a little bit overwhelming at first, but
it's a lot more overwhelming now than when I first started. Like, everything was a lot more simple. And if I'd known a year ago some of the things that I do now, I'd be like, how did I ever do that? Like, I can't do that. But you just kind of fall into it. It's crazy. And like with every new project, you're like, how am I going to do this? And then within a day or two, you're like, smooth sailing. You got it. It's the diversity. I love it. That's what I love.
What was let me say, the biggest challenge that you had to face within Mindrift?
I think the change for me, like you said, when everything changed in January, there was some uncertainty, and I lost some team members, and I especially,
to be fair, they're still alive.
They're still alive, yes. I know.
Like, when you say I lost some team members,
No, but I mean, Nicole knows me so well that when Torbo left to do coding on Mindrift's side, he literally sent me a message saying, Nicole has told me that I need to tell you that I'm leaving, and if I don't tell you, you will kick my ass. Well, I said, kick my butt. Because they know I don't like change, and like I don't like saying goodbye. So look, I think I am the only one left in my team that has been around since September. And I see these new people come in and they're so enthusiastic, and I'm so proud of them. And I don't mean that in a patronizing kind of way,
Hmm.
but they're just so like, so amped, and it's really nice to see. I like it.
And what do you get from these newcomers compared to, I don't know, what you had a year ago? Like, I'm sure they have different skills, for example, or different ways of doing things compared to someone who's been here for a while.
I think because the groups are bigger now and they're more diverse, because I think what we've done is some of our teammates or my old teammates have chosen different paths within Mindrift. So some of my closest friends in my team have kind of gone off in their own directions. So I haven't made any good connections with the newbies, but
Yet?
but they're still very nice. They're still very polite and sweet, and we have a laugh every now and then. But it's bigger. I think the group is bigger compared to when I first started, and I think there were only about 5 of us in one team. So we actually had a social group and a normal group on WhatsApp, and our social group was just craziness. It was just stupid. But it's not really like that anymore. So I kind of miss that. Kind of miss my little group of people, but I'm happy that they have found, and that's the nice thing is that there's so many new niches opening for people. That everybody gets to decide, okay, wait a minute, I didn't realize that I actually prefer doing this, So I think it's nice that I miss them, but they've found what they want to do, which is really, really nice.
Cool. And I mean, we talk about the newcomers, the newbies. What made you decide to be a newbie yourself and join Mindrift?
It literally was, I applied, and I honestly did not. I was working for someone else. It wasn't going well. And it was literally, I saw it on LinkedIn and I applied, and I really did not think, I almost thought it was too good to be true because I got through it so easily. And it was so, like, it just happened. Like, I even remember saying, like, nothing is going to come out of this. It's just going to be another one of those things where it's just, I'll never hear from the company or whatever. And next thing I know, it's like, hey, here's your onboarding, here's your tests. Hey, you passed those. Okay, here we are. Here's a team lead, easy going. And I was in, and I think I was very, very lucky. I think the process might be a little bit more difficult now. I'm not sure.
It's definitely more structured.
Yes, it is. But I do believe that it's good to know that I made it in relatively unscathed, and I'm quite proud of the fact that I am in one of the top writer teams. It's a compliment, because I was a writer, and the funny thing is, I actually hated the idea of AI because I was a copywriter. Mm-hmm. So I thought, no, okay, now we've got ChatGPT. He's going to steal my job. Everyone's going to be a copywriter now. And then now I'm on the other side of it, Now I'm on the other side of it. And so I think the whole point of it is that, like, instead of resisting it, work so that it works for you instead of working against it. You know what I mean? So it's quite ironic that I was very against it to start with.
That's actually a really good point. So you were against it, and now you went full circle, and
you're
supporting
on the other
it.
Side. Yeah, I mean, you've got to make it work for you. Even if you don't work, it's almost like the Mindrift people work behind the scenes. But even other people, they've learned how to use AI. For example, I work for a person who does motion design and 3D animation. And, that could be a detriment because there's all these like Midjourney and all these things that create art out of nothing, like just prompts. And he's finding ways to make it work for him. And I think at the end of the day, just make it work for yourself. Like don't hit it, because at the end of the day, it's designed by humans. They who knows, maybe in 10 years they'll have their own brains or something and take over the planet. But as
Hopefully
it
not,
is,
but
hopefully
yeah.
not, hopefully not. But yeah, if you can make it work for you to make your job a bit easier, then do it.
You actually touched a really good point. In the end, you can do more, you can do better things. It changes the way you work, but it's still work nonetheless. And those who resist change will be not necessarily taken away, but extremely good ones will still have a place in society. But
Yeah,
it's the middle of the field that is actually taken out.
exactly.
Talking about it, how would
Hmm.
you compare your normal freelance roles and Mindrift?
So they were actually so mind-numbing if I was not writing about stuff that I was interested in. Um, it was more just, it was working according to what other people wanted me to do, which I was okay doing. I've always loved writing since I was a little girl. But then the projects that Mindrift gives us, they're very challenging. And sometimes even the top writers like we get rewrites and stuff, and we're like, oh my gosh, like I hate rejection. I think, oh my gosh, it has to be perfect. It has to be perfect the first time, and then I'll moan and moan and moan to my team lead. Sorry, Nicole, and then the penny will drop, and then I ace it. So it's like that. It's kind of like that dopamine fix when you finally get a equation right or something like that. So it's a lot more exciting. And because projects change all the time, it's like you get your mindset into one project for almost like 2 months sometimes, and then suddenly it's gone. And now your mindset and all the rules change, and you've got a whole new projects to do. And it's actually very exciting. And it's actually helped me learn to adapt to change as opposed to be very, very stubborn. I am a Taurus. So
I mean, how do you adapt to different projects? They might have completely different guidelines,
they
but
do.
in the end, the end goal is simple. Write something that a specific AI model can learn from.
Yeah. Well,
So, how is it different from normal writing?
like you said, the guidelines, firstly, we have to follow guidelines. And some projects, I mean, compared to when I started, there were very few guidelines. And I remember there was just free creative writing where we could just write a story. Now it's like there's like 3 pages of guidelines. But luckily now also a nice thing is we get feedback when we do go wrong. And that helps immensely. And we even get feedback when things are approved. So that's nice as well. But it's hard. It's challenging because every project is so different. I don't know if I'm allowed to even talk about the project that we're currently doing. I don't think we are. It's quite a sensitive one. So that makes it really interesting. It's really exciting. It's really different to what I ever thought I'd be doing, but that makes it more interesting. And the end game is no matter what you're doing, you're improving something. Like there's a point to it all. You're not just doing copywriting and your work gets like lost in the midst of the internet forever.
You talk about things being interesting, and even then, like you had, for example, projects that lasted a couple of months. How do you keep a project interesting within those 2 months?
Because there's variety. So even if it's one project, there's still variety within the project. So there'll be different categories, which is cool. And maybe we don't always get the category that we want, but we just work through those ones, the ones that we're not that interested in. And then when or we get to a category that we are interested in, I mean, I might have no interest in stuff to do with like coding and stuff like that, whereas some of my teammates love those ones. But get me into anything to do with like parenting, like fitness, health, mental health, psychology, and then I'm rearing to go. So it's nice that there is so much variation on the different kinds of projects that we do. Like, even though it's one project, there's different categories within a project. There's choice.
Speaking of choice, how do you actually manage completing tasks on Mindrift and everything else that is your life? You say
So
that you have a kid, you have other stuff going on. How do you manage it?
you just do it. You have to do it. You work hard, you play hard. Like, I'm being serious. At my age now, I've learned how to balance things out. And, it's not for me. I don't. I wake up super duper early, and I make sure to get my exercise in because that's good for me. And then, even though I wake up super duper early, I do start work a little later, and I do have some time. I can kind of bend time and put in extra work on other days so that I can spend extra time doing stuff that is not work related. So I like that about this project.
In the end, you still manage, things when you want to, at least for the Mindrift side, you're able to do things when you want to rather than being fixed to a specific schedule.
Yes, exactly. So, but I mean, obviously that takes discipline. So if I'm going to take a day off during my son's school holidays, I need to make sure that I put in an extra day on the weekend, Just so it's just to balance things out. But it's nice to have that option.
I mean, just to make clear, we don't force anyone to put a given number of hours, but it's nice to see that you actually treat it as as it would be let me say, a normal kind of job.
Absolutely.
So that you can actually rely on it and have some interesting output and some compensation from it. Which is
Well, that's the thing. I think the nicest thing is what you put in is what you get out. That is essentially how it all works. So the more effort you put in, the more you get out. That is literally how it works.
To be fair, that's not a bad marketing headline. What you put in is what you get out.
It's absolutely true, though. Yeah, it is. If you're not going to, I did have a unnamed team member who was moaning and groaning that oh no, I only got paid a certain amount. I'm like, dude, how much did you work this month? And he told me, and I was like, so I just like put your effort in, put the effort in. Like I said, if my son's school holidays start, I think next Thursday. So I'm going to want to spend some weekdays with him. So that just means more hours when I don't have him, that I can spend time with him when he's on holiday.
Brilliant. So working around your schedule to make sure that you have time with your child, you have time to bring some money in. Is there anything that Mindrift allowed you to do compared to before?
Yeah, if I need to take a time out, I can take a time out. When you are a copywriter or you do digital marketing stuff, there are deadlines that you have to stick to. And obviously, it is polite to stick to deadlines, but they aren't set deadlines. Like I said, because there's so many of us, they're kind of covered, they're always bringing in new people. So we just have to make sure that we are present and that we put in the effort and that we show that we are there. And I think it's just courteous and polite. If I disappear, Nicole knows me. I'm harassing her every hour of every day. And she knows if she doesn't hear from me in a day, even though I know she knows that I'm still around, I'll still message her and say, look, I'm not feeling well. I'm not going to be around. I'm missing in action. It's quite funny. Like, I push myself. I think remember our last meeting got pushed because I got so sick. And Nicole and I are always telling each other to rest. So what we did was we did a Control X search for the word rest, and it came up 72 times in our history, our chat history, because neither of us ever want to rest. We just want to keep going and going and going. So, but it's nice because sometimes you do just have those days where you just, okay, I worked super duper hard over the weekend, like if I don't have my son, and I'm going to take a day off.
You deserve it.
Yeah, I deserve it. So basically my Saturday will become my Monday, which is great. So like when people get excited, oh, it's Friday tomorrow. For me, it's just another day. I might work anyway, it's another day. But at my age, it doesn't really matter because it's not like I go out and hit the city and party.
You could. Come on.
No, those days are far behind me now. I'm too tired. I'm too tired. No. Mm-mm.
Speaking of being too tired, we're reaching the end of the conversation, not because I'm getting tired. Maybe you're getting tired.
Maybe you're getting bored.
Not that I know of. What about you? No, it's actually being a really pleasant conversation for now. But I always want to end on a question.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's a difficult one.
Can I phone a friend?
Sure. You have three lifelines. Phone a friend, 50-50, or the help of the audience. Now,
okay.
What would you say to a person considering trying Mindrift? But I'm not going to give you the four options. You have to come up with them on your own.
No. Stick it out. Trust me, stick it out. It's hella scary. It is scary. And
hopefully a good thing?
No, it is. It is. And we were all there once. We were all like beginners once. And you won't believe the things that you are able to do in a year that you couldn't do a year ago. Stick it out. You won't regret it. And don't give up on yourself. Like, don't be hard on yourself and don't resist change because there's a lot of change all the time.
And what would you say to a newbie? A new user coming in?
Stick it out. Don't walk away. Just relax. Just take a deep breath. It'll be fine. Like, just let things happen naturally. Once you get your team lead or your project manager, it'll be fine. Just chill, breathe.
And to be fair, I see that most people realize it's going to be fine after their first payment date.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. I think people are always nervous about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's valid. It's very valid. It's, there's so many, fly by night kind of companies that it's hard, and it's valid for people to be, okay, am I really going to put in all this work if I might not get paid? So I understand that. But I think people who go onto the Discord platform and see how many people are actually working, I don't think there'd be that many people working with a company that doesn't pay, So just stick it out.
And to clarify, you are getting paid, are you? At times, at least?
I do this all for free.
Okay, that's what I wanted to hear. But I will use this as the main teaser. I do it all for free.
That could be really, really misjudged, don't you?
Yeah. Editor, please cut this out.
Okay.
But okay,
Okay, so was that my question? Was it a good answer?
Of course it was a good answer.
Okay, good.
Editor, don't cut this out.
Okay.
No, but jokes aside, it's been a pleasure having you here, Lisa.
Yeah, it's funny to talk to you, my fellow half British friend.
There's actually one last question that I'd like to ask, because I forgot about it. Is there anything that you would like to ask me?
Where do you live?
I live in Italy.
Okay. No, because no, I always wondered with your surname, it doesn't match up with the British accent. So I assumed it was Italian. But then I think I've only sent you voice notes and I've never actually heard your voice until today. So I was quite taken aback by the English accent. So that's all. Do you have any cats?
I don't, not anymore. But I'm a dog person.
Okay. All right. The conversation's over. I think this one's so
that's a nice way of ending it. So, and this, insurmountable kind of difference, it's time to go.
It's time to go.
Yeah. Go team dogs.
Done. Go team cats. Cats rule, dogs rule.
Bye. It was great having you here.
Thank you for having me.
It's been a pleasure. See ya.
See you.